there somewhere.
She's running away. Good afternoon. What an incredible sight to see here today. Joined by Montana firefighters and their families, the International Association of Firefighters, President Harold Schaeberger, and legislators from both sides of the aisle. And in front of us, the American and Montana flags at half-staff. As governor, I order flags to half-staff, whether it's to recognize an important moment in history, to mourn when tragedy or disaster strikes, or for the death of public figures. We also lower them to honor our first responders, who made a commitment to serving the public and gave their lives in the line of duty. The decision to order flags to half-staff is something that I've never taken lightly. It's a symbolic statement that our state and our people make to recognize the service and the sacrifice of others. Today, this one's for you. And for every firefighter in the state of Montana who's lost their life from a job-related illness while in the line of duty. Today, every community across Montana, every courthouse to every farmhouse, has their flags at half-staff out of respect for Montana firefighters. Today, firefighters all across the state woke up to this symbol in honor of their fallen brothers and sisters. Today, every firefighter should know that Montana has your back. And it's about damn time. For nearly 2 decades, in every legislative session, Montana firefighters have fought tooth and nail to make this day happen today. Every step of the way. And you got folks that have been fighting now and folks that have been fighting for years here. Every step of the way, I've been so encouraged by our firefighters, by your stories, by your experiences, by even in the face of defeat, you continued to show up. You continued to make noise. You held accountable those who didn't think families deserved these basic health care rights. You let everyone know in this Capitol building that this legislation isn't just for you, it's for every firefighter who will one day be called to service, putting on their boots for the next shift. And because of you, presumptive illness will now be a law in the books. I can't thank you enough. Thanks also to the members of the Montana IAFF, including President Joel Fassbinder, Dave Maslowski, Joel Gertig, and Brian Reed for working this through the legislative process. Thanks to those who worked the prior sessions to make sure the groundwork was laid for this session. And thanks, Senator Nate McConnell, for carrying the bill, working it hard to get it over to the finish line. Also want to thank Jill Baker, here with us today, and Peyton and Porter. All 3 of you are heroes to me and my family. I'm also thinking of firefighters in our state currently facing an illness that they received in the line of duty. Firefighters like Sean Grobby, Jonathan Paulson, Jason Benefield. My first legislative session, well, it seems like a long time ago. As governor, I stood beside firefighters in support of presumptive illness legislation. This was a priority for me then. It's been a priority every step along the way in every legislative session since. In my final legislative session as governor, there is no place I'd rather be than right here with you all today. And as a proud member of Baker's Warriors, there's nothing more I could give towards the memory and the dedication of Jason in signing this legislation into law. The firefighters put their lives on the line each and every day in service of our communities and our state. They put their long-term health on the line in service to our fellow Montanans. Thank you. Thank you for what you do each and every day. It's now my great honor to call up Senator Nate McConnell. Senator McConnell.
Thank you to everybody. I was thinking about it on one of my many drives to Missoula to visit with my kids. We as legislators don't often get a chance to make a big difference in people's lives. There are rarely opportunities for somebody to carry a bill that means so much to our heroes. I think many of you know, I have a brother who's a firefighter in Albuquerque, and I talked to him a couple years ago about presumptive illness, and he's really the reason I got involved in this issue. And I am so proud to have been able to participate in this in my small part, because I know how much it means to all of you. My son Jack visited Missoula Fire Station with Joel. Grace and Jack got to sit on the truck, and Joel gave my kids a little fire hat. And ever since that day, my son goes around my house putting out fires. And I ask him, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he says, a firefighter. And I say, well, what about a lawyer like your dad? He says, firefighter. And I say, what about governor? He says, firefighter. I say, what about Superman or Spider-Man? Firefighter. It is incredible the impact that firefighters have on the next generation. And this bill isn't just for all of you, it's for all the Jack McConnells in the world who want to be firefighters and who want to make a difference in their states and their communities. And so the small part I played in this is nothing compared to what you guys do, what you men and women do every day. And I want to thank Senator Fitzpatrick, Representative Grubbs, Representative Vinton, and of course Representative Harvey for all your hard work. This was bipartisanship at its best, and I'm very proud to have played a small role in it. Thank you.
Next, Montana AFF President Joel Fassbinder.
What a day. Pretty overwhelming at this moment right here, standing in front of you, much more than I could ever have imagined. So many people to thank, but there's no beginning of this without our brother Jason Baker. So fortunate to have his family, Jill, Porter, and Peyton. Porter, that was for you. I know you always get kind of second billing there. So grateful to have you guys here. And then certainly with a fine sponsor, a wonderful advocate for us, and Senator McConnell, having some sense of our job, and certainly an ear of wanting to learn what our job is all about. A few legislators along the way, and this is 20 years in the making. So this list is pretty comprehensive, and to acknowledge them all is almost impossible. There's cocktails and food over there, and I'm not going to get in the way of that. But there are a few. Whether it's my own representative out of Bozeman, Representative Bruce Grubbs, who's been an ear in this process for the last several years. Certainly the gentleman out of Butte, Local 96 President, Derek Harvey. Mr. Casey Schreiner up out of Great Falls, an advocate. He's been beating the drum with us for a long time. Our state AFL CIO, Al Ekblad, and all the assistants out of his office to help us out. Our lobbying team for a long time, past and present, including a gentleman from Idaho by the name of Rob Shoplock, who came up here and testified in committee and was hopefully, I'm thinking, just that nudge to push him over the edge to get this done. Another gentleman, I hope he's with us here today, Jesse Lazlovich. We go way back, and by we, I mean all of us. He has been a tireless advocate for firefighters around the state. Ricky Walsh and the 7th District, all the resources available have been at our disposal as directed by him. And then certainly my good friend and International Association of Firefighter President, Harold Schaeberger. He's had an eye to this from the beginning. Every time I see him, he asks if we're closer, what do we need, how can he help? He has been there for us. But this process has always been about making it better when you leave it than when you found it. Something that firefighters strive to do every day at our jobs, homes, and neighborhoods. It's instilled in all of us. It's truly what we believe. Those are our values. And while we gather here for this long overdue celebration, professional firefighters from all over Montana are currently in Billings in a very comprehensive class dealing with the importance and learning about the importance of our health, both physical and mental. So to make the assumption that this is a bill that's one-sided is not the case at all. Our members, as all of you know, are in and understand the importance of living a more healthy lifestyle. This bill will help ensure that through annual physicals. We've been doing our part. For almost 20 years we've been doing our part. I'm proud of this legislature for protecting those who protect our communities. And our communities meaning Jason Baker, Sean Grabe, Jason Banfield, Jonathan Paulson, Vern Erickson, Dick Seddon, and many, many others. Tonight, brothers and sisters, this afternoon, we celebrate. Congratulations to us all. Our next speaker, I would love to introduce, Harold Schaeberger. When it comes to the health and safety of firefighters and the general public, our union leads the way. And it truly is the leader of our union, the International Association of Firefighters, who has taken charge and laid the groundwork for how this entire profession is going about fighting and treating the scourge of PTSD and cancer in the fire service. When it comes to firefighters, this man has our backs. He is a true visionary, a tireless worker, never forgetting where he came from as a firefighter in Fairfax County, Virginia. He's always fighting for what is right and never forgotten the men and women on the front lines. That's why it's an honor for me to introduce IFF General President Harold A. Schaefer.
Joel, thank you, and I too want to acknowledge part of our leadership team really has helped to direct and establish, I think, one of the most effective unions in North America, 316,000 strong. That's our 7th District Vice President, Ricky Walsh. Ricky, I want to thank you for bringing the skill sets and the commitment and the understanding of the importance of political action and governmental advocacy to really advance the agenda on behalf of our members. I appreciate your work. And Joel, certainly to you, it's been leading Montana now all these number of years that we've known each other. I've been coming out here a long time. And in fact, I've been coming out here when this was but a thought and a dream. And yes, a long 20-year journey to get to this point. but it's really your leadership that's helped to lead the way in the process. Congratulations to you on a job well done, my friend. And to your team, Joel and Dave and Brian, who I know is not here, it's an incredible compliment that I want to try to provide to you, to know what it takes to walk those halls and to provide the information and to try to convince those that really have the power and the authority over the lives of the citizens of this state, but also our members, and to be able to do such an incredible job in finally bringing this legislation to fruition. So congratulations to all of you. And Governor, I want to say to you, it's not just my congratulations, because this is more than you placing your pen on this legislation today that's going to make such an important difference. I want to acknowledge and thank you for your support of our members, this state, public safety throughout your entire public career. In all the years that you've served, you've really always had our back. You've been a strong friend every step of the way. Thank you, sir. And Jill, and to you and Porter, and I know that you're embraced by your sisters, your brothers, your firefighter family, and I know that losing your husband, your dad, Jason, our brother, was a profound moment. But I hope you realize that in his memory and his legacy, and being part of that beautiful wall in Colorado Springs, will really help to state the importance that this legislation will bring and the lives that it will save. So to you, I know your extended family is taking good care of you, but just know that you're part of 300,000 plus extended family. God bless you, and thank you for your being here today with us. And let me just say just a bit about what this is really all about. And I don't want to be graphic, and I don't want to take too much time here, but I want to make sure everybody understands the importance of recognizing, which the legislators who voted for this bill ultimately recognized, and Senator McConnell, for you to take the lead and to help shepherd it through, began to realize. But this is about a profession that when our members go to work as young men and women, they are much healthier and much more fit than the general population in every way that you want to measure it. And yet somehow during the course of a 15, 20-year career, they're experiencing cancers at multiple times that of the general population. And the causation, the connection has become very clear. It is the job. It is the exposures. It is the toxic soup that they often find themselves working in. And so this will help not only to provide the benefits they're entitled to, but it also will raise the recognition within our family to do everything we can to change this trend line, which last year we put 291 names on our walls of honor in Colorado Springs, and 211 of them were from occupational cancers. And so we're going to be focused on changing the protocols and instituting this training. We're working on making sure everybody has a good, strong wellness fitness initiative. We're going to make sure that the package of the National Cancer Registry bill that we were able to pass in a Congress which is doing little, if anything, will help to lead science and the medical community to do better work and to help us identify the changes that we need to make to change this experience. We're establishing a national tumor bank, all to find out and to be able to get to the root of, as it was said, this terrible scourge. So the IFF is going to continue to do its part, continue to take the lead in making sure that we're not just doing the honors and the traditions, but the taps and the bells and the pipes and drums. But we do the real work that'll change the bell curve on the experience of cancer within our profession. And all of this ultimately comes down to all of you. And all of you that really do have the authority and the skills, but also the responsibility to address these issues and to know that this approach of this team in this state, ignoring partisanship, working both sides of the aisles in order to bring about the enactment of legislation so critically important to our members and their families. And so to the entire state legislature, which provided such extraordinary support, I salute you and appreciate everything you did. And with that, Governor, I am just proud to be here and will look forward to you placing your signature on this legislation. Let's make some wine.
Keep my eye on you, Governor.
So we can take one or two and then if one other. You want to fire want to. Well, first let's at least take one.
We got a bunch of them, Gov. We'll get a bunch of them.
Smile. Well, at some point I actually have to sign. Do you want to?
Want to put a bunch of uniforms behind you?
It's your call.
Yeah, a bunch of uniforms behind. Everybody in uniform, come up on the steps, huh?
Presumptive illness is now law.